You're going to hear me talk a lot, so I won't take too much of your time here. And just say, we are one big family, right? I know I've had the pleasure of getting to know not only the Goose Bay / Yellowknife sailors themselves, but even tonight with some of the people that I've met here so far. It's really great to put faces with names that you hear people discuss on the ship. So I'm pretty excited for that. Also to the Edmonton team, I do consider us one big family, even though we're two ships. We are one task group and one family. That doesn't just include the people that are in uniform, but it includes everybody that's here tonight and everybody that's watching back home. So please do lean on each other, not only for those of us that are at sea, but also for those people that are back home. The last time I did a deployment, my family became very close friends with a lot of the other people that we met through this process. And we're still very good friends to this day. Didn't have the pleasure of having much formal family, I'll use that term, to live with us when we were out west. But we had Christmas dinner, for example, with friends in the military and their families on holidays and things like that. And they became our extended family. That we weren't fortunate enough to travel home to see over the holidays. So you make those bonds during experiences like this that really can last a lifetime. So at that point, I'll turn it over to Jason Pike.
Okay, thank you, Lieutenant Commander Jason Pike, CO of Edmonton. Yellowknife and us, we've been working together for a long time now. We pretty well do everything the same. I'm not going to rehash what Jeff said, but I do, appreciate the sentiment, and we echo it from Edmonton. What I would like to say is, we recognize the challenging program that we've embarked upon. We were well inside planning timelines. We should have taken longer. We should have. But unfortunately, the reality of it was that we weren't able to. And so we've already placed you guys and families under a lot of stress. And so I want you to hear it from me for Edmonton that we acknowledge that and appreciate it. It's not lost on us. This has been very challenging, and it will continue to be challenging as we deploy. The great news is we're getting there. This is the mission, and this is what everybody's really been looking forward to do. So the sailors that are your family members now have an opportunity to represent Canada on an international stage, showing that the RCN can operate with our allies with the purpose of deterring and Russia, essentially, right? It's very important at this time. I don't have to tell you what's going on in the news. And this is why we're all doing it. And so this is an opportunity for us to get out there and do what we do best. And we require and really appreciate your support while we're away in doing that. I've said to my team a number of times, a ship is nothing without sailors, and a sailor is nothing without their family and support at home, right? It can be really challenging, and your support is what makes it all work. So we appreciate it, and for me, thank you. And I will go in and do some mission info. I'll hand it back to Jeff, CO Yellowknife.
Thanks, Jay. So we're just going to talk a little about what it is that we're doing and who we're going to be operating with while we're overseas. So we're going to be part of a standing NATO Mine Countermeasures Group 1, so which is one of typically 4 NATO task groups that are deployed throughout Europe. There's this task group, which is 1, which covers most of Northern Europe. And then group number 2, which covers Southern Europe and in the Mediterranean Sea mostly. So you can see what it is there. We're a multinational naval task force within NATO that is continuously active in the Northern and Western European seas. So we're mandated to provide a rapid response to mine countermeasures operations, including clearing historical ordnance or mines, and ensuring maritime security in the Baltic Sea, North Sea, and Norwegian Sea. Right, and we also conduct a lot of exercises while we're over there as well, including 2 really big ones, which I'm going to talk to about here in a second. So these are some of the ships that we're going to be operating with. So you see the one in the top corner of the slide. I might butcher this name, and I apologize. LVNS Versacious, I believe is how you pronounce that. It's a Latvian ship as well, and they're going to be our task group commander when we deploy. So we'll be working for the Latvians while we're overseas. And then a couple of German ships in the Finnish Navy there as well. All very well versed in mine countermeasures. I had the pleasure of going over to Belgium in February and working with our actual task group commander, who's going to be with us there overseas, as well as a number of our consorts here, and had a chance to meet them already in person, and they're very excited to be working with us there this summer. I'll turn it over to Jay there for some additional comments.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah, Jen's just gonna see me.
I'm seeing something different on my screen for some reason, and I'm not totally sure why.
So.
It's showing up here like it is, and you're sharing it, right? You're screen sharing.
But when you should, in the slides, the camera is just not on.
Yep.
So,
Mine is showing
this is being on
the
mine.
initial one for some reason. So I don't know if they're, I'll ask everybody if they're seeing the ships or not. Apologies for.
Oh, we have two coming out. Oh, my God.
I don't want to make comments from the side. I can't. Just close it.
My phone.
It says the screen.
Yeah, you're sharing.
Oh, it does show that
Yeah,
one.
right, 'cause it's
Okay.
only sharing that if you go,
This one.
just
let's
for
try-
screen 2, entire screen, right? That should work. And then if you hit,
That, oh, there we go.
There we go.
Let's see if it changes.
Hey, go back to the previous slide there.
Does that change?
That changed for you?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so great, and I'm glad you could all hear, but now you've got the photos. So pictured here for the ships in the task group, top left is the command platform. What we don't show is that there's an international staff, which is embarked in that command platform. Also mine countermeasure experts. There's senior people who've done this mission before, and they provide the command and control from the NATO perspective for the task group, which we'll be a part of. Also not pictured and embarking in Edmonton will be 9 Danish MCM experts. So we've got a couple of officers, 4 AUV operators, and a couple of command and control experts who will work a command and control module, which is Danish, which will be embarked in Edmonton. So the Danes will integrate with our team. We're going to be working with them, not for us, and we don't work for them. But we're going to be providing the platform. They're going to be providing the sensors and the expertise. It's a really exciting opportunity. This became a possibility late last year, and we in Edmonton immediately jumped on it because this is going to provide us an opportunity to first integrate with our NATO allies very closely, which is something we always look to do because we can learn from them, they can learn from us. And it demonstrates the interoperability and resolve of the NATO alliance. And secondly, we can take a lot from them. This is what these people have been doing their entire career. They specialize in mine countermeasures. And as Canada looks to develop its capabilities, we're going to take from them and then apply it in Canada. And I think it's going to be of great benefit to both nations and the alliance.
Hi, so I just wanted to touch on a little bit of the historical context here about the historical ordnance disposal, which is going to be a big part of what we're going to be doing overseas, specifically when we conduct 2 of the first major exercises that we're going to be doing. So no secret, during World War I and World War II, a large number of minefields were laid specifically in the Baltic and North Sea. So today there's still over about 80,000 explosive objects. Most of them are from German and Russian origin that can be found. So due to the nature of past mining, it was they weren't really dropped in a specific pattern or anything like that. It was very random and chaotic. And even fishermen in the Baltic today still sometimes when they pull up a net, they might find one of these things and then they have to call somebody from the military or the local police force that specializes in ordnance disposal or bomb disposal. The picture you see there is actually a sonar picture of the bottom of a very specific portion of the Baltic Sea. And you can see all those shapes on the bottom. Some of them may be rocks, some of them may be mines. It all depends on the shape and that sort of thing. And we have some of the specialists on board here and special equipment on board where we can go down and investigate and figure out what is what on the bottom. So what exactly are we going to be doing? Just to continue on here. So you'll see some clips here of what the task group has done in the past, and these are all taken off of Facebook. So SNMCMG1 has a really good Facebook page. They put out a lot of posts often. If you just search for that in Facebook, you'll find it. And I encourage you to follow that page while we're gone. So 2 major exercises we're going to be doing are called Sandy Coast and also Northern Coast. And those will take place in the North Sea and also in the Baltic. So how do we do mine disposal? Jay already mentioned that they're going to have the Danes on board and some of their special operators and equipment. For Yellowknife, we're going to have an all-Canadian team on board, which is great. So two methods that we're going to use here on Yellowknife are going to be what they call a remus, and that's the torpedo-looking shape there you can see on your screen, which is pretty much an autonomous underwater vehicle. So we put that in the water. It kind of drives around by itself in a predetermined search pattern, and it takes bottom mapping of the bottom, which you can see in the picture above it there. So it gives us a return that looks something like that. And so same as you saw on the last slide, we find shapes on the bottom, and then we got to figure out what those shapes are. And that's where the next pictures come in, is going to be our clearance divers. So our clearance diving team is actually coming from Fleet Diving Unit Pacific as opposed to Atlantic. So again, demonstrating the interoperability of the entire Canadian fleet coast to coast. So we'll put divers in the water at that point to get a human being's physical visual on what we found on the bottom, and they can say, no, it's a mine, it's a car tire, it's a rock. If it is a mine, then we can figure out from our commander what it is that we're going to do about it.
So just for, like, I'm an anti-submarine warfare officer by training, so I'm an underwater nerd. So if I mention like acronyms by accident and I don't spell it out for you, like AUV is an autonomous underwater vehicle. So these little torpedo things, and the Danes are going to have vehicles that look very similar to this, are programmed to run routes over the bottom of the ocean. They do it without wires or further guidance once they're launched. They come back up with those pictures, and then we analyze them following that mission to see what's going on. So the point of why I'm telling you this is that the great thing about the advancement in technology is it's made mine clearance much safer for the people in the ships. The Danes have a similar system, and what we do, we put it out, they identify where mines might be while the ship stays far away from where the mines could possibly do us danger if they exploded. So it's vastly more safe for people in the ships than it used to be, where previously we would sail through the minefields to find them. It was very dangerous. The Danes will bring several of those kit. How we identify mines in our ship is then they have another AUV, which is the autonomous vehicle, which is actually designed to go down with a camera, take a look at what it is, and then countermine it. So they put an explosive by that explosive. Our explosive blows up, and it blows up the mine. And that will either cause the mine to explode or just be dispersed such that it is no longer dangerous. When we do that, we make notifications to people in the local area, so they're safe as well. And it's fairly routine for those operating in the Baltic now.
So here's some of the places where we're going to be likely going on our deployment here. So you can see there's an awful lot of pretty good places. Myself being a career West Coast sailor, this is not an area of the world where I have personally operated, but I know a lot of the people on both Yellowknife and Edmonton have, and they've got a lot of positive things to say. So you can see where exactly where most of the operations are going to occur: North Sea, and then also in the Baltic, and the Latvia, Estonia, Lithuanian coasts, and north of Germany and Poland. So some of the other discussion points we just wanted to bring up here, and it was already mentioned by the fleet chief already, is communication, or the occasional time where there may be a lack thereof. So where we're going in the world, I wouldn't say it's a dangerous area. You can see by the second bullet there, we are very close to Russia. Okay, so our ships interacting with Russian ships is very common, right? No different if we had a bunch of Russian vessels sitting off the coast of Nova Scotia, we'd probably go out and have a look and see what it is that they're doing and say hi, right? Say, hey, I see you seeing me, right? So they're going to do the same thing to us. It's expected. It's very common. During periods such as that, there'll be certain things that we do on board, like everybody turn off your personal cell phone, right? There has been some instances in the past where people have had their personal cell phones hacked by, can't prove that who did it, but it's happened. So that could be an example where if you don't hear from your significant other for a couple of days, that's not an emergency, right? Everything's okay. It just means that we're in some sort of situation where it's not only for operational security reasons, but also for personal security reasons for your spouse on the ship and also for you people at home. Because I know, like, if you're like me, you do banking on your phone and everything like that. So there will be times where we have been advised to make sure that all our personal devices and everything like that are completely shut off. So if there was some sort of actual emergency, you will get notified through official channels, right? But I guess just don't panic if you don't get an email or anything like that for a couple of days. That's perfectly normal, right? Yeah.
So one of the other things to be on the lookout for, if you know anything about Russia, is one of their tactics they use against the West is called subversion. So essentially, they're looking to disrupt morale within the countries that are their adversaries because it makes us relatively weak, them relatively strong. One of the ways they do that is they pump out a lot of false information. I'm probably not telling you something you don't know there. They do that to individuals in NATO task groups as well. So if you get a message from a contact that you don't know, or if you get a message from somebody that just doesn't seem like something they would say, you know, take a breath and question it. As Jeff said, you will be formally notified of anything that happens in the task force. If it's anything health or safety related, we will notify you. And we have ways to do that, even in emergency and in reduced communications areas. If you get things saying your sailor is doing something that doesn't seem like your sailor would normally do, question it, contact the ship, contact the MFRC. They do this to our compatriots in Latvia. They will send out false information like so-and-so was at the club last night with 8 girls, looked like they're having a lot of fun. That type of thing, it does happen. So I have the pleasure and, you know, honestly of saying that this is one of the best groups of sailors I've ever sailed with. I know that they won't do that. I know you know they won't do that. So if you see something like that, it actually could be like Russians, and it could be Russian bots. It might not even be a human being. They will troll Facebook, get information, and then start making posts. They'll slap a whole bunch of stuff against the wall, see what sticks. So as I say, if you see anything like that and you're concerned, contact us, contact the MFRC, contact the fleet chief. We'll sort it out and we'll let you know.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Just to continue on there, I know for those of you deployed in the past, there is operational security issues. We may not always be able to say, you know, what port we're going to next or what exact dates we're going to be there, right, for security reasons. So please be aware of that. Once those ports are passed and gone, you may see something or will likely see something on the Standing NATO Maritime Group's Facebook page saying, hey, here's what happened last week at sea. And they'll show pictures and stuff of their doing the business or pictures from the port that we were just in. So please be aware of that. And the last bullet there, be flexible, right? For those of you who have been doing this for a while, we all know plans can change and change with very little notice. So that includes ports that we're going to, includes the type of mission that we're doing. We could be rerouted at the last minute to go do something a little bit different. And that also includes the date that we come home, right? Being smaller ships, the weather has a significant impact on where we go and how fast we can get there. So we are certainly have the goal of everybody being home to enjoy Halloween, but the late fall is also the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season, right? So that is certainly something that we will be watching extremely closely as we get closer to our transit home. And that could affect our arrival time here back in Halifax. We do have some contingency plans in place as to where we can wait out any potential storms. And I'm sure we'll be conversing with everybody on a pretty regular basis for some reason that we're not home when we expect to be. And at that point, that kind of includes the mission overview point of the brief. And I'll turn it over at this point to the MFRC, please. Oh, sorry. Yeah, is there any questions before we turn it over online or anything like that? Or any questions from anybody in the room?
So we'll be here all night. If you think of something later, let us know. We'll come back up and answer. Or if you're in the room, we'll be sticking around. So feel free. Happy to talk at length about it. Thank you.
It's good. Thank you for that. We're still good. Things are working online.
Everything is going smooth. I don't want to jinx it.
Okay.
Everyone says-
All right, just keep on doing what we're doing. All right, easy enough. All right, first we'd like to acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship. We are all treaty people. So to begin, this is our mission statement: strengthen the well-being of all of those who live the military lifestyle. That's you, if you didn't know. That's through absences, transitions, and relocations. Is this me still? Okay, I can. Okay. All right, so my name is Natasha. I'm one of the military family navigators here. Dina and Jenna are also navigators, and there's a few others that you may be in touch with throughout this deployment. We know this military lifestyle. We've had training in it. Some of us have grown up in it. Some of us have served ourselves or married into it, or a combination of all three. So we understand, we welcome the questions. And if we don't know answers, we will help you find the answers through other organizations within the community. And this was you too. The fleet chief will know that I usually talk over this. Yeah. Anyway, so who we serve: the CAF member, Reg Force, and reservists. Reservists in the room or online? Yes? No? Yeah? Okay. Is it mainly Reg Force, would you say, command team, or a little bit mixture of everybody? There's a mix? Okay, nice. Excellent, yeah. So spouse, partner, girlfriend, however you identify that relationship. Parents of CAF members, we've had a lot of increase in parents of CAF members who want to be informed and educated and connected throughout deployments. Children, that includes adult children. Relatives, whoever you deem as your family is who we see as your family. And this is where I would have started. All right, family connection form. Thank you for those that sent them in online too. So thank you for dispersing that as well through the command team and for filling them out here. If there are members who have not filled one out yet, they can be electronically sent to you, or if you come into DAG before you leave, then our admin team will be able to give you one as well. The first page is the members' information and the deployment that you are going on. And then the second page is where you provide contacts. You don't have to provide contacts. You can provide one contact, two contacts. There's room for more if you wish that. And this is just for our knowledge. And this is different than your next of kin. We do not have access to your next of kin, and nor do we share any of this information through the chain of command. There is a spot on there too for any additional family members that may ask to join the Facebook group. And we ask that you put the Facebook name. So my name's Natasha, but on Facebook I might be Tasha. So in that way we can just cross-reference to make sure that we're accepting the right people into the closed Facebook group. And that's the information we use to connect with you as family members. We start check-in calls a couple weeks after the deployment starts. And we do this just to say hi, see how things are going. If you have any questions, an email is also sent out opposite weeks of the calls, providing the same type of information, upcoming programs, deployment tips, any messages from the command team we'll also share. This is the link to the Facebook group for Edmonton and Yellowknife deployment. This is what we manage. The ships have their own pages, and as was mentioned, the CMGB group also has great pictures that they'll share, so you're welcome to follow all of them. Ours does require you to answer a joining question, which is the name and the rank of your member, and that's where we take the family connection form and cross-reference who's asking to join. If they are not listed on your form, or we don't have a form, we will reach out to you through your Forces account to ask if it's okay if those people are requesting can join the group. Texting is another option that we've used the last few deployments, which is very popular because we know people are busy and don't always answer phone calls. So texting is an option as well as a check-in. They're sent the same time, same week as the check-in calls. And it's a group text, but you are able to respond and ask questions directly to me. So nobody else sees your information. So we'll send out, hey, just checking in. Hope you're doing okay. You can write back, say, yes, I have a question about mail or anything like that. And then we'll be able to converse that way. And then how you can connect with us. So phone or email. On the back table there's a resource table that has our navigator card, which has a couple emails there that all navigators have access to that you can email. And our magnet there that has our 24/7 line there. So when we say 24/7, it means 24/7. If you need to call somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning, you will get somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then programs, of course, we have various programs that are available to you as deployed families, which may be specific to deployed families, but of course you're welcome to join any center programs or anything that's available on a regular basis. I'm just going to keep going. Okay. So calling that 24-hour line also gives you access to the duty padre. So in the event that perhaps there's an emergency with family members in your home, whatever that looks like for you, you can call our 24/7 line to get access to the duty padre. Staff will ask you what deployment you're experiencing, who your loved one is, including rank, and a brief example of what the emergency is. So maybe it's a medical emergency for a parent or a child or a family member. And then they will share that information with the duty padre, who will get in touch with you to get some more information and then be able to, you are deploying with a padre, correct? Yes, we'll get in touch with the padre on board, who will then share that information with your loved one in the most respectful and timely manner. And then processes will go through the chain of command if something needs to be done further from that. All right, so this is the cycle of deployment, or common family adaptation, deployment cycle. There's various names for it. So it looks like a bit of a roller coaster. So if this is your first deployment, you might be like, yeah, that's kind of what it feels like a little bit. You are probably in the first couple stages on the left-hand side there, the anticipation of loss and the detachment and withdrawal. Yes, makes sense a little bit? Yeah. So this is when you're doing those checklists, those to-do lists, figuring out what to do, how to do it, if it's things that you're not typically used to doing. Updating all those medical informations and legal documents, you know, thinking of emergency plans, emergency childcare plans, perhaps, if that is your family. You're talking to your children about deployment. Your, energy levels, okay, let's get this started, but I want you to stay home. Let's do this. Let's get it started so it can end as well. Fantasizing, maybe the deployment will be canceled. It's not. So you might just accept that reality. So it's all the feelings, sadness, excitement, tension, you name it, you're going to feel it. And the member as well. Anybody in your family, you're all feeling these emotions, right? And then as you get closer to the deployment day, that's when you kind of maybe reduce emotional attachment, maybe you're starting to withdraw a little bit. One example we always like to share is that we had a family who was getting ready to deploy, and they fought over the color of their comforter. And they're like, oh my gosh, if we fight over this, what are we going to do through a deployment? But sometimes it's easier to say see you later if you've grown some distance. So it makes sense. So if you're feeling that, it's making sense. I see some nods. So yeah. And then again, feelings of impatience, numbness, like let's get this started so we can get through it. On the back table as well is our deployment checklist, which has some things that you may have thought of and perhaps even things you haven't thought of. So ways to stay connected and informed. So for family members, knowing the deployment name, knowing possibly your member's service number sometimes helps too for some occasions. Just having that general consensus of information that you have if you need it. Emergency preparedness. So you leave during the summer, you're coming back, like was mentioned, some wild weather could happen. So what's your plan? What's your plan if you have pets? What's your plan if, something's going to break? Those seasoned in the room that have deployments again, something's going to happen. Probably within the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Days. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh yeah, 1 day. Okay. So yeah, have that thought. Like, what are you doing to prepare? Who's available to help you? So if it's, household maintenance or whatnot, who's available? Lawn care. Hopefully not snow come April or October. Let's not hope that. But who's going to help you be able to do all those things if you're not able to do them yourself? Medical and health coverage. So if you are under your member's health plan through the military, make sure that you have access to the account in case you need to submit claims or possibly change some of the details of your account. Another story we like to share is we had a family who sent the health insurance claim form from the dental office to their member, who signed it, scanned it back from the ship, and the dental office wouldn't take it because it wasn't the original signature. Now, some policies may have changed depending on the dental office, but it's always just a good idea to be able to have that access so you can submit claims in a timely manner. Financial and legal, that's your wills and power of attorneys if those need to be updated or if you want to have those. Home and vehicle prep, again, are things going to expire, registration coming up, financially, do you have all that set up, ready to go? And important documents and travel. So Yeah, if you're planning to travel anytime during the deployment, if you have children, sometimes some travel, especially if you're going out of country, will require a letter from the member saying that you are legally the guardian and parent of these children, that you can take them across borders. All airline websites have that kind of information if you wanted to do something with that. All right, now it's you, Dina.
Okay. The MFRC offers several programs and resources to ensure that families have access to practical assistance, social supports, and information to help navigate deployment success. We have a family care plan and emergency family care assistance plan. These are great to have information on both, and they're at the back table. Having an up-to-date family care plan helps avoid last-minute stresses and unexpected situations that arise. Occasional and respite care. There will be information on the back table about that. If anybody has questions, they can ask. The morale mail, I know somebody from the fleet mail office is going to be talking, so they'll get to that. Workshops and social activities. Social activities are great. They are planned to connect deployed families to build support networks. We share deployment strategies and resources during social activities, as well as during our preparing for deployment and reunion workshops. We also available to meet one-on-one, in person and virtually, to talk about supports and resources. We also have this great deployment book with activities that's on the table over there for all children from the ages of, I think it's below 12, is it not? Yes. So those are great resources. There's just activities, lots of talking can go on and all that. So it's wonderful. And thanks to Jenna and a bunch of the girls, they did a really good job on it. All right. Where's my note? Oh no. All right, this is the one you guys have fun with, because I know a lot of people, everybody has talked about it so far. Just remember, when you're having a comms plan, helps everyone understand the expectations of communications during deployment involving children's parents of deployed members, other family members, if appropriate. Things to think about. It's common to see rumors or misinformation on social media or the news. If you're not sure about something you've heard or seen, ask your loved one or contact the MFRC and we can help you navigate those. Do what you want to, what to do on departure day looks like. Children, will your children go to childcare or summer camp, or will they come to the jetty? Will your goodbye be earlier because your loved one has to be on board early? That's something that you need to talk about to see which way you want to go and how it's going to reduce your stressors. How often will you talk, text, video chat? Think about everyone's schedules and time difference. What's the plan if technology doesn't cooperate? Calls may be dropped or videos freeze. How will we communicate during the comms blackout? There may be times that ships will be in communication blackout where all contact is restricted for security reasons. Whether you talk, text, or video chat, what do you want to know and what do you want not to know? It all depends on, some people don't want to know anything. Some people only want to know the good stuff. It all depends. Talk about how you want to share and receive the big news, both good news and not so great news. I think it's you. Nope. Oh, it's nope, me. So this is a military family ID. This is a CAF identification card. Basically what it is if you want to go take your loved one to get into the dockyard. So sometimes what will happen is your member will want to go down early to drop off their stuff. The person that goes with them will need an MFID. Usually it's your spouse, parents, anything like that. Basically, it's a card that the MFRC will issue, and you need a bunch of stuff. You need the member to go with you, because they're going to require two signatures. The member and the person getting the card. Sorry, surgeries. There you go. Basically, you'll need to bring your MPRR. You'll need to do your ID, and then for the member, and then the non-member will need 2 pieces of ID. It's going to have to be a picture ID and a non-picture ID. So it could be a health card, passport, driver's license, that kind of thing. And then when you come to the MFRC, we'll get all the paperwork filled out and we'll get that ID done. Hi. 16 and over. Yes. So, but this, just so that you know, is not a CF1 card. You will not get your discounts with this one. You need the CF card for that. Okay? All right. And now I'm going to introduce Michael. He's one of our mental health and wellbeing teams to say a few words.
Evening. So I'm Michael Best, and I'm here on behalf of the social work team with the MFRC. Our mental health and well-being team is an interdisciplinary team which includes registered social workers with the province who provide free and confidential short-term counseling to military family members, individuals, and couples. I like talking about couples because we have very little wait time, that if people approach us and would like to look at some couples counseling, we can actually make that happen relatively quickly by reaching out to us. The team includes a military family navigator as well, who supports families with diverse needs. And they get connected with community resources and services, as well as a Francophone counselor who to provide one-on-one in-person or virtual short-term counseling and support in French. What's, I think, helpful and versatile with what it is that we offer is you can actually access our services in person, over the phone, by email, or virtually. And there are even possibilities of evening appointments that are outside of regular business hours that can sometimes be accommodated upon request. So supports provided may include short-term counseling, family and peer support, crisis intervention, and referrals to other community agencies and supports locally. So some examples are anxiety from deployments and absences, parenting challenges, relationship issues, separation and divorce, grief and loss, and family violence. There are a range of short-term supports that are also available as resources to military families and during exceptional circumstances. And these include emergency family care assistance, short-term accommodations in Halifax, and financial resources, including Operation Dasher for Christmas financial support. The short-term accommodations here at Windsor Park, they're glorious. They're actually deluxe apartments that are available with all the amenities. So if something were to happen that's unplanned and someone were to show up, and we can help offer some booking space for that, towels, amenities, everything's there. So they're very, very comfortable, and we're really proud to be able to offer them as resources with our families. Anybody have any questions about what it is that we do in terms of counseling, or any supports or thoughts on anything that was mentioned? Thank you. All right, lovely.
And of course, this is a lot of information coming at you at once. So you can, when you go home and think about it, definitely reach out through the chain command team, and we can answer any questions. So we're almost done with the MFRC portion. This is a few programs that are upcoming. So we have an all deployed adult dinner at the Micmac Bar and Grill over in Waverly coming up. This is for all deployed. So there could be other deployed families from various ships or overseas that will attend. Just a chance to kind of come hang out, meet other people, not cook for a night, that kind of thing. We do have a meetup, like a social meet and greet, coming up for the Edmonton, Yellowknife, and St. John's, and we combined all of them just because you're going back to back. Your departures are within a week of each other, so we're kind of doing a one-shot deal to get everybody kind of connected. For throughout the deployment, there will be specific things if that's what families want for Edmonton and Yellowknife families to get together, but there will also be all deployed things that you can access as well. So that's just come and brainstorm activities of what you might want to do. If you got kiddos, maybe you want to meet up somewhere at a playground. If you don't have kiddos, maybe you want to do some paint night, whatever that looks like. So we kind of just brainstorm what families are interested in. And so there's the links as well are available on our website. And this is how you can connect with us. Our website, that's the deployment email, which is also on the navigator card I mentioned earlier. That's the best way to access us if you have anything specific about deployment you're asking about. Our 24-hour line again, and then of course in person in Halifax or Shearwater. We also do have an office in Cape Breton, if you have any family members in Cape Breton that can access services around there too. And I think Michael is actually going up to Cape Breton in a few weeks too, so that he can meet with families in person there as well. But if none of those work for you, or you have families that aren't in the area, they can access their local MFRC for support as well. And if they don't know the answers, they reach out to us, and we all work collaboratively because we're all supporting the same military families. And here we can meet virtually. As Michael has said, the mental health and wellbeing team can meet you virtually. We can meet you virtually. We can do one-on-one, preparing for deployments, any deployment resources, over the phone, anything like that. Whatever's going to work for you, we're very flexible so it can fit into your schedule. All right, good online, Jenna. Everything's good, thank goodness. All right, and then I didn't, if you want to talk pay and benefits.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Sean Wilson, Executive Officer on the Yellowknife. Just wanted to talk a few minutes about how our pay and benefits are going to change a bit while we're out on deployment. So we all went down to the HQ orderly room on Tuesday to do our DAG preparation and sign up for some paperwork that will change our pay a bit. So we're going to have tax-free benefits while we're sailing. So that's great news for everyone, I'm sure. And effectively, what that means is we've been switched to predetermined pay, and that's going to help us in some ways offset some unknowns with the other benefits that we get. So right now we will get our tax-free salary as well as our CPay as our predetermined pay. And what that means for me and for most people is that you can expect about 1.5 times your paycheck of what you're getting right now, 1.5 to 2 times based on how much CPay you get and things like that. So that's what you can effectively expect while you're on deployment. And then we will get a lump sum at the end, which will be the difference. We also are eligible for hardship and risk allowance. And so those are benefits higher than CPay in general, and that is given to us to reflect that we are doing slightly riskier operations than what we would normally do at home. So the difference between those benefits will come to us at the end of the deployment in a lump sum. So you have somewhat of a organized savings plan and something to look forward to when you get back home. All in all, a pretty good plan that the HQ has organized for us. So we get 1.5 times our current paycheck while we're out working. And then when we come home for leave, we get a little lump sum on top of that to reflect how much hardship and risk allowance we will get. That is the difference between our CPay and that new bonus. And I can pause here if anyone has any specific questions about that, and we can discuss. I'm a naval officer, not a logistics officer, so I dabble in this stuff, but I can probably field some questions. No, all good? Everyone happy with the predetermined pay as is? Okay. Thanks. That's all I have for this. And then next is the mail discussion. Yeah. Thanks.
All right, mail. Hello, everyone. I'm Master Corporal Demondon. I'm currently 2IC of Operations at Fleet Mail Office here in Halifax. We're located at Dockyard D20. We're just directly under the bridge. And moving forward, yeah. So FMO provides postal services across CFB Halifax and CFB Shearwater. So not only we serve with deployed ships, we also serve pretty much the whole HRM area. In addition, we provide support to naval deployments of Marlent by sending morale mail to deployed HMC ships, also now as MARPAC as well. On average, FMO sends about 3,600 kilograms of morale mail to deployed ships per 6-month deployment. This is usually frigates. Right now, we're supporting the deployment of HMCS VDQ and HMCS St. John's. All right. So how to send morale mail? There's a Government of Canada website. Right to Troops. So it has step-by-step on basically how to even to like wrap up your package and all the addresses in there. It's an made website. We love pictures. So just Google search sending mail to deployed troops. Also, if you're mailing from outside Nova Scotia, it can be dropped at military bases with existing post office without cost. However, if you don't have any access to MFRC, you might have to send a morale mail to Halifax at your own cost. So CFB Halifax and NDHU Ottawa, Valcartier, Shearwater, Petawawa, Saint Jean, Greenwood, Gagetown, Cold Lake, Trenton, Winnipeg, Victoria, Kingston, Edmonton, Montreal. So those are the bases with MFRC on it or Fleet Mail Office. You can the families can drop off their morale mail and they can send it to us. Next, so the maximum acceptable length is 1 meter. So if you look behind you, it's that box over there. That's the perfect size of it. If you don't have that, if you can't see the box, it's basically, sorry, okay. Yeah, that box right there. If you can't see it, basically it's the size of a diaper box. You guys have a lot of diaper box. So length, longest side of your item. That I don't have to explain this. So basically 2 meters wrapped around, and the maximum weight is 20 kilograms. Non-mill matter, here we go, it's a big one. So you cannot sand or weapons, including knives or replica weapons. So I know a lot of bosuns love their knives. You love your Bowie knives, but unfortunately, just bring it with you. Do not buy from Amazon and then have it shipped because it will never arrive. Obscene material, including magazines or pictures. Dangerous goods of Defined Transport Canada's transportation of dangerous goods and regulation. Compressed gas, aerosol cans of shaving cream or air fresheners, corrosive fluids, flammable liquids or solids, and lithium batteries. So batteries is a big thing. We cannot send laptops or Nintendo Switches because of the lithium ion inside the battery, and we cannot remove them. Alcohol, beer, cider, coolers, wine, can't send them. Tobacco products is a big one. So cigarettes, cigars, cigarillos, chewing tobacco, loose tobacco. We have seen an influx of alternative tobacco products like Zyn, right? Under the guise of shoe polish. Yeah. Yeah. Like we've caught so many of them. But we cannot send them. I had someone argue to me that they're not tobacco, but it's actually a tobacco byproduct. Also, like, that another one's from Sweden, a synthetic one. Electronic smoking products, e-cigarettes, cigars, cigarillos, pipes, and liquid cartridges. Cannabis or any product containing cannabis, that includes candies. Drugs or other controlled substance, including narcotics, perishable items, fruits, vegetable, meat, and etc. Sorry. Someone actually tried to send a potato. I don't know why. No, it's just a potato. Plants, seeds, fruit, bark, plant parts, or soil. Animals as well. Cannot send animals. This is coming from experience. Like someone tried, actually. Someone tried. All right. This is this is from our experience. Someone tried. All right. And hand sanitizers. Yeah, someone did.
I gotta ask, what kind of animal?
I cannot talk about it. It's more like a bug. So like, yeah. So here's an example. So this is like the customs forms that you need to send your morale mail. Uh, the military post office, every single military post office has one, including MFRC as well. We are currently working with Canada Post to kind of digitize them and do it online instead of doing this manually. If you guys need some, there should be some in the back. So parcels are X-ray scanned individually to ensure security and compliance with Canada Post, Transport Canada, international rules and regulations. So every single parcel is actually X-ray scanned. So if like I know a lot of people here from Victoria, that means they will also be scanned in Victoria, and then when it comes here, it will be scanned again. Go to the different country, it will be scanned again. So triple scanned. So don't risk it. Parcels are packed and sent to MDC every Friday, but we try to do it to send it every Friday. But since with the missions like VDQ and HMCS St. John's, there's been it's been quite challenging. So this is us. This is back in 2021. We had about, I think that's 2,600. No, that's about 80 bags of morale mail. A lot of stuff. All right. Do not mail anything with significant monetary value, as morale mail is not insured and not guaranteed due to operational environment. Gaming systems, a big one. Laptops, jewelry, massage guns. All right. Do not mail anything military value, such as military coins, medals, government utility tool, also uniforms. I know you guys have access to logistic, and sometimes you guys need your uniforms, but unfortunately, just try to be prepared. Do not mail any carbonated drinks, or anything could leak and shatter. Understand that an item may be legal in possession in Canada, but could be illegal overseas. Knives of all sizes are illegal in Israel. Seal meat is banned in any EU country. Someone actually tried to send seal meat. No, and it leaked. All right. So if you have any question or concern, please contact Fleet Mail Office on 902-427-6682. And here's our POS account. I will try to my best to answer that, but today's my last day. So I'm post it out. Yeah. And that's it. Any questions? Not online? All right. Thank you very much. Yes.
You always get these questions
Yes.
before we get questions afterwards.
Yeah.
Can you send Nerf guns?
Nerf guns, where they're going? No.
No. Just 'cause a lot of members want to have fun. so-
Yeah, you can send banana suits and
Yeah.
like
not
a lot of
Nerf.
fun
Yeah.
stuff, but not Nerf. And it's
Yeah.
it's almost like you can't send
Yeah.
almost like weapons.
Well, no, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think because it's Nerf.
Yeah.
you Go, I think so.
Yeah.
And, gift cards.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that's like credit card or anything
Yeah,
with
monetary.
monetary. Yeah.
Although while you're deployed, you're not gonna get that.
Yeah.
Until you, basically, or you get imported.
Yeah, just buy it in Latvia, it's cheap.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
And that's it. Thank you.
Just the regular function, right?
Yeah, perfect, thank you. And we are always calling the Fleet Mail office, sometimes weekly, because we get questions from families that we don't know the answer of. So we have a great relationship with them, that they're always, available to us. And vice versa too. Sometimes they'll have somebody call and ask questions, what our hours or whatever that looks like too. So definitely reach out if you have, because we know how important it is for you to send mail and for your loved one to receive mail. So we want to make sure that it gets to them. Also too, I'm not sure if you mentioned, I might have missed it, Master Corporal, that it can take 4 to 6 weeks
Yes.
to get from here to whatever port the ship is in. Yep. Right. So depending on the port too. So sometimes there might be a delay to get to that port, and the ship has already left that one. So it's going to follow them until it gets delivered. So Question? No, don't worry. It's not, right, yeah. No, good question. Yes, so the only cutoff date that we would get or that the fleet mail office will give us is the last one, for sure. Any other time, if you have a package ready, bring it in. You can bring 5 packages at one time, send them all at the same time. They'll probably all get to your loved one at different times too, for that matter. But definitely the last one we would, just because we want to make sure, usually about, so you leave July, coming back end October. So we're looking probably beginning of August, I would say would be on your best side, right? And sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it's not. Yeah, it's kind of hit or miss, but go with that guideline. Yeah, good question. Mhm.
Bring to the MFRC and then down to the doctor, or they have to bring?
Right, so for family members, you mean, yeah, so did you put that in there? Okay, so the question was, do family members drop them packages off to the MFRC or to the fleet mail office? Right, so the only way that is in particular for here, because the fleet mail office is at the dockyard, you would need a base ID to go in. So the military family ID that Dina had mentioned does not give you access to the dockyard, aside from taking your member to the ship and going home kind of thing, right? So that's why you can drop them off at our locations during our work hours, and then we take them down to the fleet mail office, usually weekly, sometimes a couple times a week, depending on how much we have, for them to continue that process. So if you work at the dockyard, you're more than welcome to go to the fleet mail office yourself. 7 to 3, correct, Master Corporal? Yeah, is their hours, Monday to Friday. Our hours are Monday to Friday here in Halifax from 7 to 5, and in Shearwater, it's Monday to Friday from 8 to 4. The Shearwater office is closed 11:30 to 12:30 for lunch. And we'll post those throughout the deployment too, just to remind people as well. So, okay, good. All right. And then question, that's the command team slide. Yeah, if there's any questions.
So thank you for the great informative brief. If anybody has any questions that they've thought of throughout the entirety of the presentation, you can ask them now, or you can email them to members that can pass them on to us through the chain of command, or we will also be available for the remainder of the evening in the room that you can just walk up and talk to us and ask us whatever you like.
Any questions online at all?
I just asked. So far, nothing.
Okay. All right. Anything else in closing?
No, I don't have much to add, but thank you for your support throughout this entire process. I know now's the time when we're going away for the longest, but we've been relying on you throughout the preparation for this trip as well. We'll do our best to take care of everybody on board and make sure that you at home know what's going on at all times, insofar as is possible given operational security. So our big thing and my big thing is communication, and we're going to keep those lines of communication open as best we can throughout the deployment, and then following the deployment if you need help then. But we will also be talking about this with crew members just prior to the end of the deployment. So it's ongoing support. Don't think this is the one thing or the one chance you had. At any time, if you need something, questions, etc., just let us know and we'll support you as best we can.
Yeah, just from the Yellowknife side here, the only things I'll say is I was happy to see that there was a lot of jokes and laughter and that sort of thing going on here, at least in the room here during the brief. So that's something that we certainly encourage as part of the Yellowknife Edmonton team. I think we all work more efficiently and effectively when we're having fun. So please, we don't want to be the only ones having fun, right? So enjoy, as much as it sounds weird to say, enjoy the time that you have, whether it's with your friends, if you got kids, enjoy your time with your kids, take advantage of it while your spouse is gone. Maybe you'll get an opportunity to do some things that you wouldn't otherwise think about doing, and enjoy time with one another, right? You probably meet some people here that you've never met before that are in the same situation. As I look around the room here, some of the people I know, there is a wealth of knowledge and experience in these situations, both in this room and I'm sure the people online as well. So There will be times where you may not be able to lean on your friend, spouse, significant other, what have you, while they're gone. So you're going to have to pivot a little bit towards one another and help each other out. And I certainly encourage you to do that. Utilize the resources we've seen here today with the MFRC, through Facebook, through some of the events that they've organized for you, et cetera. So please, I'll use my Dr. Phil line here, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Commodore Sir, Chief, any words? No, thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Again, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. Thank you.